Hi Gemini, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's have a look, see what the week ahead has in store for you. So they're all jumping out. We're not starting with that one because we are starting with your key to the week. So whenever you see so your key to the week for the first week of March, right, here we are already, can you believe it, is the Magician card. So this week, what could very well likely be coming up for you is you could be finding that this week is a week for you to really start speaking your truth, but it's also a week where you could start thinking about what it is that you truly have to say. What is your message to the world? What is it that you believe is the highest expression of who you are, right? Your Magician card is always about reaching the height of your game. It's about reaching that, you know, the pinnacle, and it's also about manifesting things or creating things in your life. So when you see this card, what it's actually asking you to do this week, or what it's actually what it's actually telling you may come up for you, is a chance to communicate who you truly are, a chance for you to share something about yourself with the world, and a chance for you to get ahead. Very often I see this card for things like promotions, maybe the acquisition of a job, maybe the acquisition of a position in power of some sort. It can very often be a step upwards, but it's always some aspect of self coming through that is going to the top. Now, interestingly enough, the Magician card rules the planet, or is ruled by the planet Mercury. So this is one of the cards that can represent you, right? What I love about this for you is this energy permeates the week. So this week you could really be showing up as yourself. Even with the Mercury retrograde in Pisces, this week you could really be having moments of brilliant ideas. This is a week for you to communicate with people. It's a week for you to definitely network. And if you've ever thought about writing, this is the week for you to do it. Whether that's a book, whether it's a blog, whether it is just poems, like whatever it is, this is the week for you to pick up your pen, Gemini. All right, so let's have a look at your sectors for your actions and your path ahead. This week you get you got the Temperance card, right? So it looks like this week you could be finding that there are big talks about spirituality. Maybe this is a subject that you have long since kind of been interested in, but not necessarily talked to too many people about. It does look like you could be connecting with either a public religious figure, or somebody that becomes either a mentor, a teacher, and you know, the saying goes, the teacher or the mentor will arrive when the student is truly ready. And it looks like this week you are ready. This is the week where you kind of step into that energy and say, actually, you know what, I'm ready to take this deeper. I'm ready to gain a deeper understanding, or I'm ready to take myself to the top. And what's the best way to get there? Through increasing your knowledge, through expanding what you know, through gaining more just through gaining more a depth of wisdom or perspective on what it is that you already know. But it does look like you're seeking either a mentor, a teacher of some sort, and it could very well be in the spiritual sector. This is going to be an interesting week for you guys for sure. It's definitely going to be a week of manifesting things because you've also got the Temperance card there. This week you could really be understanding, you know, what it is that you're communicating on a really, you know, on a big level, because you're a Gemini. This is all about communication for you guys. You could be understanding what you're putting out into the world and how that shows up for you. Whether it's aligned to what you want or whether it's not aligned to what you want, this is what you're figuring out this week. All right, for your communications and conversations, you have a message coming from a distance, whether this is overseas. It could definitely well be, because you've got that Temperance card there, which is ruled by, or which rules Sagittarius, right? And your 8 of Wands is lots of communication, emails, text messages, you know, social media, all of it. The fact that it comes through the 8 of Wands though, and it is in your communications, and it's kind of off the back of that Temperance card, it does feel like a lot of the things that you are talking about this week either have a very spiritual feel to them or a very studious or academic feel to them. This could be somewhere that is, it feels like it's a big focus for you this week. What I love about the 8 of Wands is it's always good communication. It's quality communication. So whatever it is that you're talking about this week, you know, you're being received really well, especially with your Gemini card, with your Magician card right there. For your money and materials, you have the 7 of Swords. This is not a great week for finances, I have to say, Geminis. And I will say this to you. It looks like, and I'm not saying this is for all of you, but if somebody's inviting you to do something, whether this is, you know, study a course, whatever it is, if your cognitive dissonance kicks in to say to you, that price doesn't feel right to me, scrap it. You're not obliged to accept anything. If something doesn't feel right to you, or you think, actually, you know what, that doesn't work for me, or actually that's too much, I'm not willing to pay for that, speak that. Because the chances are, especially with your Magician card there, one, you could either get a reduction, or two, they might say, actually, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna ease off. But when it comes to money and materials this week, especially when it comes to people requesting money from you, whether this is online, it's an absolute no. If somebody from a distance, whether this is a friend or a family member, contacts you asking for money this week, you know, or asking for support, your 7 of Swords is basically telling me, whoever it is that's asking you for money this week, what they say they need the money for and what they're actually going to use it for are very, very different things. This is akin to an alcoholic saying, oh, you know, can you give me 40 quid so I can go and buy my week's shopping? And what's that going to entail? A bottle of whiskey and 2 cans of beer. You know, that's a really, really crude example, but you see where I'm coming from. This is not a week for you to loan money, to offer money out. If somebody asks you for money and they say it's for one thing, just make sure you get to the bottom of it and figure out if they're actually going to use it for that. Because with the 7 of Swords, the chances are it's a no. All right, with your love and relations, you have the Death card. Oof. So it's a bit of an interesting week for you guys. It does look like you're going through the process of really discovering not only what it is that you have to say, but more importantly, what you want to say, what actually resonates with you. Where is it that you feel like you're supposed to put your time and energy with your love and relations? So this person asking for money could very well be a family member. I have to say that. So for those of you that are single, your Death card is basically saying that person that you may have been sort of having your eye on, or maybe you've been flirting with, or maybe even somebody that you've been seeing, it is about to come to an end. And that really is the best that's the best thing involved for everybody, because it comes off the back of that 7 of Swords, which does suggest you may very well be about to learn something about this person that completely changes your view of them. For those of you that are partnered, it looks like you and your partner are making a decision to leave something behind, or maybe someone behind. Maybe it's about phasing out a connection, you know, maybe it's another couple, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member. It just looks like you guys are uniting, but you're saying we no longer want to be a part of or connected to A, B, and C. Interesting week for you guys. Very interesting week for you guys indeed. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care, and I'll see you soon.